Alright guys, Edge has hosted a competition. You might have heard it. It was called BYNC. Not BYMC, but BYNC. You see it here, Build Your Name competition. The competition meant you have to build your nickname, and you are only allowed to drive on your letters, like on the letters. You cannot drive on anything outside of the letters. And then he basically plays through all the maps, and people can vote for what the best maps are. This was both in Team NF and also in Team 2020. You could decide where you build. And I was building my map in Team 2020. And I can first of all show you how Edge actually went through my map. There you saw it shortly. And what he said. And then I will explain a bit from my side afterwards. So here we go.
It was decent to drive, so thank you for joining my competition, Build Your Name contest. Yeah, alrighty, we have the next map, and this one was built by Marius89. Now let's see the map. PF plus right, risky GPS. Okay. Actually, why am I watching this now instead of driving? I guess I will just stay till the end. Okay, so there are some differences between the ways. Okay, I think I drove that pretty awfully. Okay, doing fine. Backslide.
So this here is extremely unfortunate that this happens in his first try, but I will explain these slow-mos. I will explain these slow-mos later.
This will take ages. Speed.
Yeah, we are watching Edge, how he discovers my map, okay, and then I will explain something to my map.
This is the hard way, from what I remember.
And he touches it again. This is so annoying.
Again. So that's probably why it was there in the first place. So now I'm just zooming through all of this. Holy shit, that's fast. Oh, and I was too slow. Okay. And I will go the risky way. So I have to jump really high up.
So this is how it's supposed to look?
Give me the proper camera. And now before I enter the bobsleigh, yeah, that's more or less how it was supposed to go. There we go, silver medal. I think I'm pretty fine with this. Okay, what do I think about the map? It's kinda like a mix of absolutely random ideas put together, but it kinda works. Like the nickname itself is really simple looking. But I like the idea of using different colors for each letter. That's really nice. Actually, not sure if anyone did that before. But yeah, in general, 68 something VW built a really nice track. So good job and thanks for participating. We have another participant.
Okay, so this was his reaction. The problem is that Edge received many maps, and because of that he didn't really have the time to invest a lot of his free time into each single track. So he was missing a lot of stuff. When I uploaded the map in his Discord, I, for example, mentioned why I chose these colors. And the reason for that, you can see in this picture, my logo actually looks like this. my old team leader in an old team called Bigs Limited, my first team in Trackmania United Forever, he was doing, at my birthday, he was doing this logo for me as a gift. And surprisingly, he put this dark blue color in 3rd spot, which is a bit weird because when you look at Trackmania United Forever, the icon here, you can see it, and you see it's just rainbow colors. But for some reason in this logo with these cubes, he put the dark blue here. And the colors of my track basically follow the colors of my logo. That means basically that when I built my track, I had to find for each letter a surface with a fitting color. So I kind of limited myself already with that. Yeah. And the thing is that everyone, of course, thinks a bit differently. Everyone has a different idea what to do with the nickname. Like everyone has a different nickname, so the track is gonna be different. But how exactly you follow the rules? Like people have different ideas on how to do that. And I, for example, limited myself on these colors, which is quite important to know. And sadly, he was basically just driving through the maps, didn't really look at this Discord comment that I put right under the link. I will show you now the map and also the safe and the risky way, because also there, like I put a lot of time into this map. And here we go. So, first of all, I show again from the top. This is how it looks like. So as red, I used red plastic. Then the orange is then dirt. Of course more brown, but it's the best that you have basically. Then the R, I used the top of these tunnel blocks, if you see that, yeah. Then comes the I, which is just a normal plastic yellow pipe with yellow plastic platform there as the dot. Then comes the U, which is just grass. And then comes the S, which is just bright water. And the 89 is then just gray, whitish, the 8 and the 9. The ice looks here a bit bluish because of my plugin. And now I had also following idea. I wanted that people drive every part of the letters. So in this M, for example, someone could easily just drive on top here. Or in the A, there are 2 ways where you can go. But I wanted to make sure that people drive through every single part. And that the difficulty was the U. Because if you look at the letters, then the M ends at the bottom, the A starts at the bottom, so here's the connection. The A ends at the bottom, the R starts at the bottom, so here's the connection. With the R it also works. Ends at the bottom, I starts there, but the I ends at the top, but it perfectly works because the U also starts at the top. So I could make these transitions here, but now we come to the issue. The U, if you would drive it, ends at the top, but it doesn't really line up with the S. How do I make it that I drive a full U, but then still go into the S here? So this is now the difficulty. And I had then an idea with adding a risky and a safe way, basically. And the idea here, for example, is that the risky way takes this booster, which is very difficult with what you have to press. And it can be a little bit faster than if you just go through the top way here. The A has here a bit of slow-mo if you cut, and is pretty easy to drive and you keep stadium car, while the outside part, which is longer and would be normally slower, has rally car, which can do this turn pretty well and doesn't have any slow-mo. The R I forced with this checkpoint, and you just drive one circle. And then we come to this letter here, and with the U, I had the idea that you basically can either save and just immediately drive into the S, or you take the risky way. And the risky way means that you actually take the full U, make a quarter pipe jump and land back at the start of the U, and then you go to the S. So how can I make this faster? How can I make it faster to make someone not go immediately into the S, but actually going into the quarter pipe? So, and here got pretty tricky. The idea was that by going through this quarter pipe jump, I am getting a reactor boost up, which happens to be on the top of this quarter pipe. Like when you make the quarter pipe jump and you land here, you get this reactor boost up. With this reactor boost up, you float over certain gates, like for example this stadium gate. So you keep the desert car, and I made sure basically that this desert car has the reactor boost up for very long, especially at this section here, where stadium and desert fly differently high. I made sure that desert car basically keeps reactor boost up for very long and can basically drive this ice turn here in the end just full speed, while the stadium car already drives and has to do a normal ice slide, and then it just works out that the risky way catches up all the time that it loses with a quarter pipe jump. Why those slow-mos? Those slow-mos here are just there because I had to make sure that it's impossible to cut. Because what if you drive, this is the last checkpoint, you drive over the eye, you land here, and then you just drive up and grab this, the reactor, and then you go down again. Then you just cut. Yeah, I had to make sure that it's faster to take one big U-turn, literally U-turn, instead of just directly going up here. And this is why I placed many slow-mos, and I tried to find the best way possible to place them so that they don't really interact with normal driving. But Edge in his first try obviously managed to hit them twice. So that was a bit unfortunate. And yeah, now I will show you the risky and the safe way. You will see when you start driving, like you saw it in the first try, for some reason meter tracker bugs, you cannot see it now. Let's see if this is the risky. Yeah, this is the safe way. Nice. So first of all, I show you the safe way. It just takes with wet plastic this M turn. Then the transitions were always a question. How do I transition? There it was just a jump basically with a wall right here. This quarter pipe jump. Quarter pipe jumps were often the case. For better landings, shortly into rally car. But the R I wanted to drive with a snow car. So the rally car gate is just for a smoother landing, because these blue tunnels don't have a nice quarter pipe landing, of course. So now box sliding into this. And now the safe way will just go into the S immediately. And now you see that you get a stadium gate there. Then you have to drive all this with stadium. Now you lose the reactor and you just drive normal drifts in this 8. And then you have to ice slide, and then you're in the bobsleigh. And look at this, the risky way snipes. Even though it goes much longer way. And now I will show this by going to the PF right. Let me shortly see if it shows the full run, because I remember when I recorded it once it didn't. Okay, it works. Then let's show. So first of all, you do this. I show again how exactly this has to look like what you have to press. So now comes the rally car. With that you come with overspeed back and overtake again. So, slightly ahead. Now driving the R. You go onto the pipe here. So now for the risky way. You actually don't go into the S. Instead, you go to the left, you drive the full U, you do the quarter pipe jump, you hit the reactor up. Now you can even go a bit through the trees here. And now you have so much more speed because you don't need to drift through this. You jump, you still get reactor. Yeah, this is what I saw coming. Right? I had this bug also another time. So you keep the reactor up, you just drive, and then you have so much speed into the bobsleigh that you snipe the other way. This is basically the whole idea. And now I can also show you how my record looks like. and what you have to press here in the beginning. So first of all, you go into a box slide, so you hold the box slide inputs. I actually went away from steering here shortly because I was so inside. Went into steering again, like smooth steering in the box slide. So now I go off the brake, so I only accelerate and ride. With that, the car turns around, touches the plastic bounce, and then I box slide again. This is basically the inputs to get this clean. You have to hit it very well to be faster than Safeway, to be honest. Here you want to jump, of course, as slow as possible. Quite tricky to do right. As I said, the rally car gate is just for the landing. Like I played a lot with car gates here in this map, especially with this risky versus Safeway. That desert car stays at desert and doesn't go into the stadium gate and so on. Yeah, and you see Edge got a 1 minute 18. This is what you saw in the video. Yeah, and that's my run basically on the map. So I actually put a lot of work into this, but there is a lot of detail that in like the short discovery video from Edge, of course, easily gets missed. As he was showing glimpses of the risky way, but obviously a viewer that has never seen the map has no chance to understand what's happening on it. But yeah, this was basically my main idea. Driving, as I said, the rules were that you are only allowed to drive on the letters. This made it also so difficult to find good combinations between the letters, because you often had to transfer with a jump or something. And I wanted to make sure that you really drive on every part of the letter and that you don't cut parts out. That was important for me, plus the colors, which limited me in which surface I'm using. Yeah, and this is something that came a bit short in the video that I wanted to share basically.